I forgot something. I forgot something else. There it is. In this box lies an amplifier that I'm about to drop, and also an amplifier that I have waited years to play through. Sort of. And today, we're gonna unbox this baby, and we're gonna riff through it together for the first time. Let's do it! All right, guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle, and welcome to Belligerent Studios. What I do is I take all sorts of awesome high-gain related guitar equipment, I record it with a simple setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. And today is a moment that I have been waiting a very, very long time for. Those that have been around my channel since the very beginning know that this channel, even though it still is pretty amp-centric, when I started out, that was all I did. Amp demo after amp demo after amp demo. And that's because as much as I love other guitar related equipment, amplifiers are just the thing that I'm most obsessed with. I guess there's no other way to put it. The reason that I started the channel in the first place was because I had a pretty good size collection of amplifiers that people were constantly messaging me, asking me, how does this sound? How does that sound? There's no good video demos of this amp anywhere. Can you give me some advice on it? So finally, I just started making crappy demos of them. And 4 years later, here we are, somehow making a living off of being belligerent. But one of those amplifiers that I wanted to try from the very start of the channel, and even before that, as soon as I got into the world of boutique amplifiers, has eluded me for all this time. I've had opportunities to put it in my collection before, multiple times, and it just never seemed to be the right timing, never seemed to be the right seller. And because of what it is, I kind of want to make sure it's exactly the model that I want, including like the visual aspects of it. And because they're a custom amp company, a lot of them are not my favorite. We'll put it that way. The head shells that they come in, some of the logos, you know, some of the visual appointments of some of the amplifiers are just not my thing at all. So if I'm gonna jump into this amplifier, I am going to make sure it is exactly what I want. And so at the beginning of this video, I said that this is that amplifier, sort of. And what I mean by that is this is that circuit, but it's not made by the actual person who makes it, if that makes any sense at all. The boutique amp building world is very weird. I'm sure you guys understand exactly what I'm talking about if you guys are in this world whatsoever. But you guys know that I love to yap, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna unbox it. We're gonna take a quick look at it together. I'm gonna plug it into a cab and we are going to hear and play those first riffs together. So while I am unboxing this thing, I want you guys to put your guesses of what this amplifier is down below in the comments. Really curious to see what some of you guys think that it is. I actually put a post up on Facebook this morning, and a lot of the people who follow me over there, a lot of them guessed right, a lot of them guessed wrong. So I'm really curious to see what it is that you guys think is gonna be in this box. Go ahead, put it down in the comments. And without further ado, let's rip this baby open. And while I'm doing that, I do have to give a shout to my homie, Ryan Aleph, who sold me this amplifier because he gave me an absolutely incredible deal on it. Even though it's not technically the real deal, he still gave me a really solid deal on this amplifier. So, all right, so he didn't use foam peanuts or packing peanuts. He used the foam equivalent as opposed to the styrofoam. So not quite as bad as packing peanuts, but this is still, Ryan, this is illegal, and I'm gonna have to dock you some cool guy points for that. But anyways, Ryan has his own pickup winding company, and he's actually gonna send me some pickups to try out here on the channel in the very near future. He does a lot of custom stuff. So Aleph Pickups and Amp Repair, I will put a link to his Facebook page for his business down below in the description of this video. I would really appreciate it if you guys would check it out. Ryan also built this amp himself, and while he's not technically interested in building like one-off amplifiers, you might be able to persuade him. So I would say just follow his page, and if you really want something, if you really want one of these or something, hit the dude up. He's a good dude. And Ryan, thank you for the killer deal on this thing. So without further ado, let's make a mess. Woo! I managed to do that with only getting 2 foam pieces on the floor. It's gonna be a good day. All right, so here's the booty of it. As you guys can see right here, that should tell you exactly what this amplifier is. And let's flip it around. Now, you guys can't tell because it says Aleph Amplification on it, but this is a clone of a Wizard Modern Classic 2. And if you guys have been around my channel for a while, you know that the Wizard Modern Classic 2, that exact amplifier is the amp from Wizard that I have wanted to try for a really long time. People try to tell me to get the MTL all the time, but I like amps that are a little bit more open, less compressed. I don't need an absolute shit ton of gain. I like things to be nice and clear and chimey when I'm playing for the type of stuff that I personally like to play. So the Modern Classic 2 has always been the amplifier that I really wanted to check out for myself. So when he put this up for sale, he's only a couple hours south of me. I immediately jumped on it and I said, dude, I have to try this thing. I have to get it on the channel because he said the circuit on this is 100% exact to the actual Wizard Modern Classic 2 circuit. The differences I'm falling apart. The differences are the components that are used in this amplifier, as far as like transformers and maybe some of the caps and stuff like that are gonna be different than what Wizard uses. And that will make a difference in how it sounds, but overall the circuit being the same will at least give me an idea of, is this amp everything that I think that it's gonna be if I spend the $4,000 to $5,000 on the actual Wizard itself? And that's mainly why I wanted to pick this thing up. I wanted to check it out. I wanted to make sure that it's what I want before I go and spend the big boy money on the big boy amp. So I think it'll serve its purpose nicely. And also on top of that, I'm gonna make a Quad Cortex pack and a Tone X pack of this amplifier. As with all my packs, 15 captures, $15. We're gonna put different boosts through these things, maybe an EQ pedal in the loop for a couple of the tones just to kind of get a couple different things out of it. We'll see what this particular one needs, but I've been blown away by the reception to my Quad Cortex and Kemper profiles that I have sold to you guys. I was not expecting them to be good, and pretty much unanimously people have said either they're really, really good or they're the best that they've played. So I'm truly humbled by those remarks and by that feedback. But yeah, just trying to self-promote myself a little bit so that I can help pay for this amplifier and possibly help pay for a Modern Classic 2 in the near future. But I'm running out of time. Let's hook this thing up. Let's jam a couple riffs through it. Let's get belligerent. Let's poop our pants. All right, guys, so I have the amp set up here on my Engel E212 VB Pro with the Vintage 30 in it, SM57 on the V30. One of my favorite cabs, even though it's only a 212. Got my favorite guitar, my Balaguer Typhon here with the Seymour Duncan distortion in the bridge. And I basically went through, set all the gains and volumes to 0, set all the EQ controls to noon. There is a depth and a contour on the back of the amplifier. That is set to noon. I have the master volume set to 0 because these amps are known for being very loud. So yeah, we're gonna go straight into the amp and let's hope it doesn't suck. right, so first impressions, I definitely like it. The low end is ridiculous. Not only is it huge, but it's very tight and very, very punchy. I'm gonna get along with the booty on this thing real nice. So I definitely love that. As you guys can see, I've got the gain on the lead channel maxed out. That is all the gain this amplifier has. I was expecting that though, because I know that this amplifier is not like crazy high gain like a modern style amplifier or a modern level of gain. That was a horrible sentence, but you guys know what I mean. But that is what we have overdrives for. And that whole time I was going straight into the amp, did not touch the overdrive at all. So we're going to kick on an overdrive in just a minute. And I have a feeling that's gonna add everything that I personally feel that it's missing. It definitely has that top end like plexi Kerrang thing going on, but I am a little surprised. It almost seems a little bit hollow in the mids. That's the only area of the amplifier where I'm not totally in love. But again, I think kicking on an overdrive in front will give me the mids that I want. I pulled the depth back to about 10 o'clock on the dial on the back, and I've got the bass dialed down to 4 in the front. This thing has a ton of low end, so boosting it, no matter how many lows I take out of the front, I think that this thing is going to have way more than enough low end. Really curious to see how it reacts to that overdrive. If it reacts well to the overdrive, it is definitely going to be a baller ass tone. So let's kick on an SD1 first because that has a little less output. As far as the contour seems to be like a negative feedback type control. I dialed it down, which kind of opened up the negative feedback. It made it a little bit more aggressive and stuff. So now I just kind of have to balance things out a little bit. Yeah, let's kick on that boost. I'm pretty happy so far. I think this is really going to take it over the top. All right, so the overdrive basically did everything that I thought it was going to do. It opened up the mids a little bit, made the mids fill out a little bit more so the amp sounded less hollow, tightened up the lows, added the saturation that I felt like it was missing. The top end, I think it might be the angle cab. I love this cab, but the top end, for one, these speakers aren't broken in yet, but for two, The top end, very, very bright, and that could be because of the speakers. So we're going to play around with cabinets a little bit, but I think that that's why I'm struggling to balance out the top without making it sound overly harsh. But overall, dude, this thing, the response, the low end response, this is a 50-watt amp. The push, the punch that the low end has on this thing, incredible. It seems like there's a little bit of noise because I do have the boost on the amp kicked on and an overdrive out front. I don't know if that's conflicting and creating a little bit of like feedback that you sometimes get when there's like diode clipping in the circuit or there's a certain bright cap value or something. Let's go ahead. Let's kick on my King in Yellow because this thing has a ton of output and I can really shape the front end. Let's see how this sounds. Listen to that snarl, that growl in the mids, dude. I get it. All right, I get it. I get the wizard thing, and this isn't even a real wizard, but I understand. Everybody says that if I like the Splawn, which you guys know I love my Splawn Competition 50 here, one of my favorite amplifiers on the planet. I've been a huge fan of those for a long time. Everybody said if I like the Splawn, I was gonna love the wizard. I get it. I totally get it, man. Really growly in the mids, extremely punchy low end. And again, this is with the Chariotone transformers. This doesn't even have the wizard transformers in it. So I don't know how much, difference that's going to make as far as like the headroom and the clarity and everything and the dynamics. But I can tell you the low end on this thing, very, very punchy, but you got to dig in order to get those palm mutes and in order to get the saturation, dude. I'm having a blast. This is really fun. This amp sounds really, really good. I am very happy. I'm going to grab a drop C guitar, play one more riff. All right, right, guys, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna be late. This thing sounds incredible. Palm mutes, massive, really, really cutting in the mids. I cannot wait to start messing around with this anymore, checking it out on some different cabinets, different guitars, different overdrives. Incredible. Ryan, dude, thank you so much. You just made my whole week. I'm so happy to finally at least get to try a Wizard circuit and have it be exactly what I thought it would be. This was a lot of fun, man. This is why I got into guitar tone chasing and stuff, to have these moments where you try a new amplifier and it just blows you away, dude. That was really fun. Yeah, if you guys want to see more content with this, if you want to see like a full amp review on the channel, let me know. I'm going to try to track down a Wizard now, I guess. That sucks, but yeah. But in the meantime, I'm going to be selling, like I said, quad Cortex and Tone X packs. If you guys want a Kemper pack, let me know. If there's enough requests for a Kemper pack of this amplifier, I will certainly make a Kemper pack of it if you guys want it. But yeah, if you guys want to help me be able to fund that Wizard purchase for the channel and for this studio here, buying my capture packs is a fantastic way to do it. Also, checking out the affiliate links down below, Sweetwater, Guitar Center, especially on the used stuff, and Zounds, all of those go a really long way in helping the channel and helping me be able to afford getting this gear on the channel for you guys. So, massive thank you to all of you guys who made this possible. I mean, seriously, I can't do this gear stuff without you. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm really happy. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, get subscribed so you can check out more awesome amplifier content such as this. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Kyle here again. I want to play this amp some more. Goodbye! Shut up! You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.